Peace and good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn. Before I get to the video, I would like to urge you, if you can, like, subscribe, share my content as much as you could. I am working against the algorithm, I feel. And you liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing helps me a whole heck of a lot. And it's been helping a lot recently, and I want to thank you guys for doing such. But let me get right into the matter at hand. Wanted to talk about this rally that happened in Nashville, Tennessee. If you guys aren't from America, Nashville is in the one of the southern eastern states in the United States of America, and there was a few days ago a rally by a group of NAZIs that were waving swastika flags in downtown Nashville. I've seen, and I remember this summer, and it's something about that group stuck out to me because I had seen a similar group this summer demonstrating, which looked a little bit fugazi, bogus. The group in general, like the way the guys looked, it looked unnatural, like to have a grouping like that. And I would just want to go over the video of that rally that I'm talking about because it's making the rounds on the news. And I noticed too, like when the news wants to push a story, like the story is going to be like front and center. But recently, even the stories that the news has been trying to push, like at best, at times, it seems like they have maybe 3 days worth of headline and then it onto something else. And, granted, we're living in crazy times and there's always something else happening every week, seemingly. But they're trying with a story like this, as far as, the waving of swastikas and flags in these cities, which this last rally of these NAZI groups happened in Tennessee, but I've seen other gatherings. I think like I saw one that was in Wisconsin. I remember seeing one in addition to seeing one in Washington, D.C., where it was like these white groups all masked up though. I mean, like, but you could tell, not like, I'm not going to say in every instance, like today, like the group that was marching today, a lot of them had long sleeves on. So you couldn't really tell because a lot of them had masks. And in two of the instances, there was a guy leading the groups who had no mask and a suit on, and you see him today in the video that we go over. But yeah, this is familiar because I've seen it more than once recently, like within the last like year or two. I remember seeing other instances of rallies that were sold as being part of NAZI with swastikas, all that, masked men, like, so you couldn't tell who was who, like you couldn't tell people's identities. In one instance, I remember like 30 people in a group like that being arrested, like that were riding in the back of a moving truck, like a U-Haul truck or something. I think that happened in Wisconsin, but I mean, I'd come back to you with that info if I have it. But again, this happened in Nashville, and it looks 100% like, to me, I mean, it doesn't look like legit. I mean, you guys decide. We'll go over the video, and the first thing that sticks out to me is the fact that the group in this instance, they all had a red with black mask on. In the other instances, though, it's the same thing. Not the same clothing or the same uniforms. It's not even the same groups, it seems like, supposedly. These are like one group named let's say Blood Front or some shit in Florida, then another group named I don't know, Aryan Soldiers. I'm just making these names up. That's based out of like Michigan or some shit. But in every case I'm mentioning, like including the one that we'll go over together today, it's the same as far as the people being masked. So the uniforms change, like the masks are the same. But I'm going to go over a NBC News clip that's discussing this rally that happened in Nashville. and one of my cats is busting my chops over here. Sorry about that, guys. But this group again met up in Nashville, which is sus in itself too, because Nashville, I've never been to Nashville. I know there's a tourist area of Nashville. I know downtown Nashville doesn't seem like bad from what I've seen, like in pictures and movies, like the area where the Capitol is, which is like where some of this rally actually takes place. But Nashville or any city that you're not from, and I'm assuming that if these are like white separatist, nationalists, Nazi, whatever, that they're not from no fucking Nashville. They don't live in Nashville, so they probably came from somewhere else if they're a legit group. So you'd be very I mean to find 24 guys like because it seems like there's 24 dudes that show up to this meeting to take part in something like this, to go into like Nashville, like a city or any city. I mean, if you were to say like, all right, let's go to Charlotte. Like I know Charlotte has I've never been to Charlotte, but I'm pretty sure Charlotte, I know for sure Charlotte has like hood dudes. So you're not gonna stroll up like from the outer like area of North Carolina and stroll into Charlotte to have a meeting like that when you know that you're coming as like this white guy, like hick outsider, like from the boondocks of the Carolinas, let's say, and you're going to one of these meetings in Nashville that Nashville is bad. Like, I mean, like it's that just gives me pause in itself. Like for starters, the logistics of it, getting that many people, all that. All right, so I'm gonna go into the NBC News video. This was posted 8 hours ago, and the title is "Lawmakers React to Neo-Nazi Group Marching in Nashville." This is for educational purposes only. Hopefully that helps as far as me not getting fruxed with by the platform we're on. But let me get right into it.
Now to uproar in Tennessee after a controversial march over the weekend. A small group of neo-Nazis walked through Nashville. We are going to show you video in a few seconds of that march, but we do want to warn you some of the symbols and imagery are walk through Nashville.
Okay, before I begin though, I hope you guys could see my
now to uproar in Tennessee after a
my arrow or mouse indicator on the screen, but trying to get rid of this. But they're going to be pushing this, I feel, and that's one of the things in this video I wanted to talk about too, that I could, if this is Fugazi, which I feel it is, like I feel all these like little rallies where they're showing up waving flags with groups of people in masks, I think that's Fugazi. Like I don't know, that you don't see like the KKK doing some shit like that, go like that, like without like mobs of people going there and like pestering them with a big ass police presence, just a bunch of people around there. Like it seems like in all these cases of every one of these groups that I've seen, it seems like no regular people are around. It's just like maybe a cop or two. I don't like, which if the KKK showed up when I was a kid, which was very rare, like, and you would see them on TV and they show up to like a city or a regular place, there was always tons of people, like counter protesters that would outnumber the KKK or whatever hate group from the time I was a kid till recently. But a group like this goes into a big city like Nashville, Tennessee, which I know for sure is 100% hood. Nashville is probably one of the top 10 most hood cities in this whole country. I mean, and I've never been to Nashville. Nashville got a rep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyhow, just find it very sus. But I think if they're pushing other groups in the future, like I feel that they're pushing other groups like this one today, that they're going to just try to push that stuff in 2024 as far as like everybody like getting on some divisive shit. But peep game, because one of the things I'm seeing is that this shit ain't taking root. It's not taking root. People ain't falling for it. And you see evidence of what I'm telling you as far as people not falling for it within this video, within the news clips that I'm going to show you today. but they're not falling for it. But here in the bottom left corner, like you got the black and white, black with white letters, epidemic of hate. Like so trying to throw that up to get people at each other's throats in an election year at that.
Small group of neo-Nazis walk through Nashville. We are going to show you video in a few seconds of that march, but we do want to warn you some of the symbols and imagery are disturbing and hateful. Police say about 24 people marched around the Capitol and parts of downtown on Saturday. They eventually...
This politician, I forgot his name. I think his name is I know it starts with a J, his last name, but he's a grifter, big time grifter. He's a Nashville state assemblyman, I believe. 100% race baiting grifter, sus as far as his movements go, feminine, just throws code words around, doesn't say anything of substance, and usually doesn't say anything directly relating to black. He's one of these people, umbrella people. Everybody's part of our oppressed group. And usually, if you see him in the cut too, there's usually a lot of people within the rainbow contingent in the background, this politician. But let me get into
left after a brief confrontation. Now, several lawmakers are speaking out. Here with the latest, NBC's Valerie Castro following this one for us. So, Valerie, first off, what do we know about this march and this group?
Zinkley, so this appeared to be a group of about 24 men that marched through downtown Nashville and around the Capitol. As you saw in the video, they were all wearing those red shirts. Most of the group.
See, look, one of the things that I find sus here, though, this is one of the main things, too. If you come from any other country into America, the first thing you're going to notice is that most Americans are fat. We're a bunch of fat MFers in this country. If you get 10 American men at random, any walk of life, Miami, where people are fit, California, where people are fit, you name it, any city, USA, New York, you take 10 men at random, 7 of them will be portly, fat, chubby. These guys here, every one of them looks like the same, like in decent shape. Every one of them got the same brand new gear, like brand new black cargo pants, all matching red sweaters. If you were to tell the group I mentioned before, KKK, let's say, like to show up back in the day, I remember, you tell them to show up at one of these meetings and there'll be like 4 of them that'll show up. And even though their uniform is a white robe, they still look at a uniform. You can't get any men of anywhere like to agree, like to wear the same shirts, the same pants, the same sneakers, the same mask. Don't take off the mask. Like, don't smoke cigarettes. Like, all these dudes are the same build. They're all like thin or not fat. They're all like, I mean, if you guys like, am I bugging? Look, every one of these dudes, not one of them is a fat guy or a fat ass. And these are, neo-Nazi types or white separatists, let's say. You're going to find more of that in the country. I mean, like, the fat epidemic affects the country more than it does the cities. I mean, you're telling me that you're going to get a bunch of hicked out dudes to all agree to wear the same shit, brand new clothes, like they all have money to ditch out and travel to Nashville, have all this good gear. They're all the same, skinny to medium build. None of them are really fat. For American men, I don't think so. I really have a problem believing this to be true. But and the thing is too that in the other instances that I mentioned that I've seen marches, this is like other states, and that supposedly this group that they mentioned here is involved with another group, and that they travel to other states. That takes a lot of coordination, money. Right now, when American people are broke, when these guys, I'm pretty sure that you'll hear them say slogans of, they took our jobs, like type stuff, and migrants or whatever. Then they're not men of means, especially if they're from these hick areas. It's not like people that have a lot of money, especially like past instances where you see like these separatist groups or racists. they look like bums and they live like shit. Like none of them have like this nice gear. Like look at them. Every one of these guys has the same, like brand new sweater, red sweater, all coordinated. You can't get men to coordinate, or people in general today, 2020, to show up at one spot unless you're taking them all in the same van and get them all to wear the same shit, like just for affordability, just for the fact that people are gonna fuck it up somehow. I don't know. And all this gear is brand new, brand spanking new. Let me
the
put
group
the
had their faces covered, their identities were concealed. Some of them were carrying flags.
Yeah, look, the big scary bullet vest. Look, all of these brand new gear again. Look, goggles too. I didn't even factor that. Goggles on top of mask. You know, that's something I've had to do that out of force, like for work purposes and whatnot. And it's extremely uncomfortable. You know, where people, if you're just training to do that, like you take it off all the time, you know, in the best of circumstances. But even when you're forced to do that in life endangering situations, there's people that save effort, you know, 8 hours or 2 hours, 20 minutes wearing this mask with these goggles is too much. I'm taking this shit off. Or like I'm getting one breath. None of these dudes, all these dudes are on code. All these dudes have new goggles, new gear, new sweaters, new pants, same pants, all coordinated.
Swastika symbol. Several bystanders who witnessed this took cell phone video of the group. Some of them confronted the group and yelling at them, calling them cowards for not showing their faces.
Now, look, she said, let me go back to that.
At them, calling them cowards for not showing their face. Confronted the group and yelling at them, calling them cowards. Video of the group. Some of them confronted the group and yelling at them, calling them cowards.
She said there's video of people that showed up and confronted the group and showed them cowards. Where the fuck are they? There's nobody in any of these videos here except men in red shirts. Now, like you're telling me that the dudes in Nashville ran because they saw this little group? Give me a break. Somebody would have aired this shit out. Some regular hood dude from Nashville would have aired this shit out if he would have seen a group of dudes in red, with flags. Give me a break. Also, too, one video that I saw this past summer in Florida, no bullshit aside, like no BS aside, I actually was I think I came home from vacation and we were watching YouTube, just surfing around, and a rally similar to this one actually popped up on the recommendations of my YouTube. It was live, and it was live. I watched it with my whole family and everything. And it was for like, it probably ran for like 25 minutes, I remember. And it was on a overpass in Florida. But the group, I don't remember what they were wearing color-wise. It might have been red too. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's this group or if it's a group associated with this group. Because in the news, in the clip that I'm playing for you guys now, the lady mentions that they're part of a different group called Blood Tribe. That's what she said. But the one in Florida, they were on the rally that was in Florida on an overpass. They were on some straight up racist. And I think it was in West Palm Beach, if I remember correctly, that other rally that I saw in Florida live, as it was happening, that came up on my YouTube recommendations. But in that rally, there was about the same number of dudes, same profile where everybody was in decent to good shape, skinny, very odd for American, like I said. But in that group in Florida, the guy who's leading this group in the clip that I'm playing you guys now was I feel that it's the same dude, because the guy that was leading the group in Florida had a suit on it. I remember he had a black suit, and he was the only one. No, he was speaking like to whoever was recording them. I think the lady who was recording them, I had seen her a video of her somewhere else, and I believe it was like a Jewish lady that was recording them, and it was pretty much her recording them. Some people passing by like near that overpass, and nobody else in that area at all. Like 0 people, like in that street, which I don't know how many people like walk by like those areas, like a walking overpass. But it was just very strange that nobody popped out of their car and did something stupid. You know, people in Florida, I mean, 1 out of 2 have the strap on them at all times. You know, like nobody's gonna air these dudes out in Florida. But anyhow, in the Florida instance, there was one guy that was leading the charge, and he had a black suit on or something.
Or not showing their faces. Some say that the demonstrators were yelling anti-immigrant chants. Nashville police issued a statement saying that they had.
See, so now, I mean, this is like with swastikas and whatnot, but they're also associating the fact of or trying to make you associate if you protest or have a protest against migrants, which in most cases, not most cases, almost every case is a legit, especially as a person in hood, Black Hood USA, that are getting dumped migrants into today. You know, most of the places that migrants are being dumped into the most are places that are already the hood. You know, New York City, Chicago, Denver now, California now, today, you know, Texas, Houston, you know, Dallas, all these cities that are, you know, that are migrants are being dumped off to are by and large Black cities. So they're trying to get you to associate that if you protest about migrants, that it's equivocal to protesting about and you know, the stuff that NAZIs may protest about, or you know, trying to get that correlation going. Like, I feel like, you know, that could be, if these groups aren't authentic, which I think could be the case because of what my eyes are telling me, then they may try to use that as a vehicle to make it seem as if anything to do with looking at the current migrant situation that's happening in America in 2024, if you look at that with suspicious eyes, then it could be equivocal to Nazisms, if you will. But let me go back to the video. I do apologize, guys. Like, I'm not the best at the internet stuff, and I have keys missing on my laptop as is.
Monitored the group, and they say that the group left at the end of the demonstration climbing into a U-Haul box truck, and that they left the county at that point.
See, same profile. They hop into a U-Haul box, or they rent the U-Haul box truck. All these dudes pile into a U-Haul box truck. Like, if at a U-Haul office, they're not gonna peep a bunch of white guys putting on masks, wearing red shit, fucking bullet vest, the scary bullet vest, putting on all this gear. Nobody's gonna alert the authorities like at these U-Haul places, because that's the second instance that I've seen with a group like this that rents a U-Haul to go to some sort of demonstration with the same instance of none of these guys are fat. All of them have brand new gear. All of them have brand new pants, matching shoes. Give me a break. Let me get to the video.
Now, this is a relatively new group, box truck, and that they left the county at that point. Now, this is a relatively new group. This is associated with the Blood Tribe, a neo-Nazi group, according to the Anti-Defamation League.
And one question, too. If they're going after people that went into that thing in the Capitol, which I don't want to say by name, retroactively, because I've heard of people getting arrested after the fact, and that they were tracked via phone as far as what their movements were that day, whatever have you. But if the biggest thing that's plaguing the United States of America, according to a lot of liberals, is the racism, then why didn't they track every single one of these dudes and lock them up, or like track them for the purposes of I mean, I've heard of people that have been knocked at the door by authorities because of shit that they do online. I mean, for the most part, these dudes seems that their MO at best is, I mean, I don't know if they even have an MO online, but I mean, like, come on, like the feds aren't tracking every one of these dudes, like, you know, or they can't like track every one of these dudes. It's the biggest problem affecting the country now. People remember racisms. Don't be racisms to our new citizen migrants, please, too. But let me go. Keep going. Sure they did. The only people that are on these on that this group is on anybody's radar, the ADL. Now, even with the LGBTQ, let's say parade or a event, bro, there's people that are gonna lash out and reach out and touch you if you're waving a swastika. I don't care if you have a group of 50 people. Somebody's gonna toss something at you. You know, I don't care if they're in the alphabet community either. There's fucking tough people in the alphabet community. Give me a break. There's reckless people in the alphabet community. There's people with courageous people within that community that will go up to a group like this and smash out. Come on, man. Like in America today, I mean, you're talking about people in America that are armed in most places, and these groups are showing up like to do demonstrations like this with a bunch of people in areas that you'll get shot over minimal infractions by somebody just having a bad day. You telling me that the biggest problem, racism's affecting America today, and these people are probably the most racisms visually. They're fucking waving swastikas and all this shit like that anybody's ever seen ever, and nobody's gonna do something reckless like to them in a country where people have that are armed more than anywhere in the whole world. Sure. Let me keep going. Let me go back to the video. I gotta pull the video down here and there, like, because I don't want to get a strike too. Let's continue.
I wonder, how are people responding to what they saw in Nashville?
So several lawmakers issued statements over the weekend on social media. Today, just a few hours ago, there was a rally held at the state capitol. There were lawmakers there. There were religious leaders from the community there. Some of them blame the state's Republican leadership. They say that anti-immigrant rhetoric may have fueled some of this demonstration. The Democratic State Representative Justin Jones.
See how slick they are? Like the anti-immigrant rhetoric is causing hate groups to come out the woodwork. See, they're gonna have a real recruiting drive because nobody likes because of all the migrants. Like,
at the state capitol, there were lawmakers there. There were religious leaders from the community there. Some of them blame the state's Republican leadership. They say that anti-immigrant rhetoric may have fueled some of this demonstration. The Democratic State Representative Justin Jones actually witnessed the march on Saturday. He took some of that video.
Justin Jones, that's his name.
He organized that rally.
And funny too. Look, the only guy that's downtown in that whole area, except besides these people, is our friend Justin Jones here, the interloper. And look who Justin Jones has at this protest. Where dudes that looked armed, because remember, one of them had the bullet vest, the scary bullet vest. You know, who does Justin Jones show up with? Let's see, female, black, another black female, some lady with a Puerto Rican flag back here, Jewish dude, old lady. Where's the show of force that our man Justin Jones wants to confront these scary looking dudes with the bullet vest? Like another thing too. I mean, this rally that Justin Jones is hosting here happened at least a day after the rally with the Nazi dudes. You know that. So I think the Nazi rally happened on Friday, and that this dude Justin Jones had a rally at the Capitol today or yesterday. But anyhow, this should have been big news in Nashville at least, right? Where's the turnout for this state lawmaker that's having a rally at the Capitol for this racism group that just showed up to Nashville a couple days or hours before, like after, before this rally organized by Justin Jones is taking place? Where's all Nashville showing up to show up and show their distaste for these racisms, red guys in masks? Wait, like let's see the big turnout that they have here. Like because they're trying to make it seem like this group is bigger than what it is, but I actually have video to show you. Actually, I'll show you right now real quick. That way, to show you how the news caps on you guys, like the young people say. The news is a bunch of cap, like the youth done tell. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. But this is the video of the actual. Pardon me, guys. But this is the video that I'm pulling up now of the actual size of the rally. So again, remember, these fellas dressed in red, scary looking racisms guys just showed up to Nashville, Tennessee, Cashville. Showed up deep. 24 looks like 24 people, men with Nazi flags and all this stuff, just showed up to Nashville, Tennessee over the weekend. A state assemblyman, Justin, whatever his name is, Johnson, has this rally at the Capitol talking about that instance, and look at the big crowd that he pulls. And I'm going to tell you why he didn't draw a big crowd.
That was meant to intimidate our community, but we stand united, multiracial, multi-generational, multi-faith, people who have not been together for some time, standing on the plaza, the People's Plaza, where they were, saying we're reclaiming the space.
They're going to show the size of the group right now. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Like, where's the one? This group is measly. Look, it's two old ladies, grandmas against fascists. So I'm pretty sure since that group that showed up with the red uniforms was a Nazi group, you could assume that these are probably associated with maybe a Jewish cause of some sort. But they're old guy. Another, like, I'm starting from the right, moving left. Old grandma, old grandma, old grandma, old guy, white guy, white guy. White guy, white old guy, old lady, yuppie young white chick, fat cat lady, old, black chick in the back, young, black chick in the back, young, white lady in front of the black chick in the back, old, suspicious state assemblyman, young black dude, supposedly, dude next to him looks that was that Jewish looking dude that we saw before. The lady with the kufi, older looking black woman. Lady next to the lady next with the kufi, old white woman, another old white woman, another old white woman. So let's count total. How many people he has here to do this protest against this hate group that just showed up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 people total to show up to the protest against the Nazi rally. You want to know why I think nobody showed up to this? Because most people feel like I feel. Most people feel like these hate groups that are all of a sudden popping up don't seem real. They don't seem real. Otherwise, I think people would have showed up way deeper than this, and there would have been a lot more problems. If they didn't show up way deep when that group showed up initially, or while they, or if they didn't show up deep while they were there, I mean, like, they had a chance to show up here. I mean, the weather looked pretty nice at this meeting that's happening.
Masks and are alleged to have left town in a box truck.
But You get none of that. You get 21 people. Supposedly 24 showed up to the first rally that were all Nazi guys, like, but you get 21 people show up to talk about that. But let's hear this moron speak, Justin Johnson, whatever his name is. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Space. Any only yuppies and liberal, like yups and hyper libs, like loves to use the word space, and folks. They love to use folks. That was beautiful. Oh man, pardon self, guys. I thought I was playing the video as I thought I was sharing the video, but that real quick. And this is again Justin Johnson. Man, I hope I could edit that after the fact, but this is again Justin, the assemblyman from Tennessee, speaking. And again, my opinion of him, he's a grifter. Types like that, black politicians that I've seen in my past usually never do anything for black people of any substance, but they like to talk like a preacher and use a few code words here and there to get you charged up, but then make it seem when it's time to do anything for black people that they got to do things for gay people or this person, Asians or first, or for God knows who first, or handicapped people or whatever. But from my experience, but this guy seems to be within that same vein. But let me show what he said at this meeting.
That was meant to intimidate our community, but we stand united, multiracial, multi-generational, multi-faith, people who have not been together for some time, standing on the plaza, the People's Plaza, where they were.
The People's Plaza. That's commie bullshit too.
And we're reclaiming the space.
Yeah.
We're cleansing the space.
Again, space, yuppie.
We're getting rid of all that hate and that negativity and saying, this is our plaza. This is our house. And we are not covering up our face, but we're proud of who we are.
The Republican Governor Bill Lee also issued a statement over the weekend on social media saying Nazism and anti-Semitism should never be tolerated in any form. As Jewish people around the world continue to face persecution, Tennessee remains unwavering in our support for the nation of Israel and her people. Zingle, in the scheme of things, this may have seemed like a small-scale demonstration, but such a powerful, hateful message.
Valerie Castro with that important report.
See, again, too, like within that report, they try to like make that correlation of all the, like, I mean, yeah, they were the swastika thing as far as them showing up with the flags and whatnot, but association of anything to do with Republican lawmaker or the road association, they try to throw in that little segment: Republican lawmaker, swastika, migrant, anti, rising tensions due to like migrants. Bullshit like that. So they're gonna try to equip like that false equivocation of any protest to do with the migrant will make you a bigot. But let me take off. There was one instance in the show where I kind of screwed up. I hope I could edit that out. But with that, I mean, if I can't screw it, I'm gonna put it on anyway. So if that shows up, sorry about that. But again, let me want to plead with you guys as far as, well, first, thank you guys for helping me as far as helping me get my view count up and my subscriber numbers up. And I don't know whether you're sharing my videos or not, like, but regardless, whatever you guys are doing, continue to do it. Do share this stuff. Because again, if there's an algorithm in place and it's working against anybody, it's working against me currently. But you know, they don't like to hear this kind of stuff, especially coming from my perspective, Puerto Rican dude from the hood. You know, could talk about endless hood experience that I've had, like as far as in my life or coming up in those situations. But I'd rather talk about this. I think it's a lot more important, and I think it's a different look when it's people from our perspective, uh, as far as being from inner city and tough areas and whatnot, and got to experience all that stuff. You know, change their outlook as far as how things work politically, especially. You know, in spite of, you know, me being quote unquote like conscious, like in my thoughts and whatnot, politically, like I'd get into these lazy I guess tunnel of thought, in which it would lead me to, well, at worst case, you know, into like sort of siding more with democratic principles as far as politically. You know, since I was a kid, even when I was like quote unquote like more conscious, if you will, which that's probably in my case late 90s. Like I ain't come or know about a lot of the conscious stuff from YouTube, not one bit, one iota. I mean, it was great to find that stuff on YouTube, but you know, I learned about conscious stuff from fucking Fulton or the Triangle outside near the DeKalb Avenue train station, or the bookstores near Atlantic Avenue. You know, like, so none of that shit as far I'm not, you know, one of these dudes that found a lot of this stuff via YouTube. I found a lot of that stuff from me hearing people talk it in the street a lot of times. And it wasn't many times, like, you know, there's something like I wasn't super conscious like that. But regardless though, now I would be considered conservative because, you know, I believe in men, women, family, you name, you know, things that are normal status quo 5 years ago or 10 years ago, like that are now, if you feel that way, you're sort of quasi conservative, if you will. But politically though, at times, like I would just chalk it up and probably lean more Democrat, in spite of the fact that I never voted, and like it just seemed like Republican, like, you know, politicians seemed like chiseled, made of steel. Like you kind of like see the way they would present them on TV, and it seemed like they were racist, like type dudes, and they could have been. Who knows? But politically, I would lean more liberal Democrat, like up until recently, honestly, or you know, maybe in the last and I never got involved politically as far as voting, like except for the last election. But having said that, I think that having my perspective and coming from where I come from, more people that come from places like I come from will listen to my perspective and may change their mind as far as politically, like I did recently. My mind has changed politically in the last like 5 years, maybe, or give or take. So that's a dangerous thing on YouTube, because YouTube, I mean, like takes their marching orders from the powers that be. I'll leave it at that. So I mean, the powers that be, like for you to say certain things, the powers that be censor certain things. The powers that be could also use an algorithm against the motherfucker on YouTube today. And if there's anybody that's working against, I feel that I can make a good case as far as those things not helping me at the very minimum. Having said that, you could help that cause, and you are. So I want to thank you first again for helping me as far as the growth of this channel recently. But do keep doing that. Like my stuff, comment on my stuff, subscribe to my stuff, and I answer all your comments too, if you want to engage. But it does help a lot, and I am fighting against algorithm, but we'll get through it together. never fear, though. These are dangerous times. These are crazy times. 2024 is probably going to be one of the nuttiest years on record. 2023 was one of the nuttiest years on record already. But 2024 may turn out to be bananas. And I want to be here to talk it through with you guys. But again, help me out as much as you could as far as helping this channel grow. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day if you're watching this on the 20th later today. But hope you guys have a great day at work or whatever you're doing tomorrow. Don't get caught up. Don't get pissed off. With that, I hope you guys have a great peace.